Ahoy, ahoy! It is time for another Sega Channel Retro stream. I haven't really done one of these in a while, so I figured I should probably just try something something we haven't really done in a long time. And I thought, what better way to go than to try and, let's say, play a Sega CD game. Although it's not an FMV game. Sorry. But I do have a slew of other Sega CD games to play if this one goes awry, but I figured I should just play one game. And this one is Spider-Man vs. Kingpin, which probably isn't going to draw a lot of people. That's part of why I didn't really advertise it. But this game's so friggin' weird! And in case you can't tell, it's got a soundtrack done by Spencer Nielsen, our good buddy, who did the music for the American songs for Sonic CD. And according to the back of the box, he has teamed up with Eric Martin of Mr. Big. I have no idea who that is, but I'm sure some rock aficionados know who that is. But yeah, this is an enhanced version of the Sega Genesis game of the same name, but it has a little more open world stuff going on for it, and of course a rocket soundtrack. But on top of that, it also has cutscenes, which I'm actually going to be quiet for so that we can hear the amazing voice acting, starting right now.
These are the New York offices of the Daily Bugle, where young Peter Parker is employed as a freelance photographer. Peter's work on his large daily newspaper has brought him into contact with some of the more unsavory characters that roam the streets of the city.
Boy, what an ugly bunch! The nastiest batch of criminals in the world, and New York's got them. Lucky thing, they've also got Spider-Man.
Only Peter's wife, Mary Jane, knows his extraordinary secret. That he is not merely the pleasant and conventional young man he seems.
Mary Jane!
Hi, Tiger.
Hi, honey. What's up?
I was just on my way to the studio to tape today's episode of Secret Hospital. Thought I'd stop by and get a kiss. If you're not too busy, of course.
Now there's something I'm never too busy for.
That ought to keep me happy until dinner. See you then?
Yep. See you tonight.
Help!
That woman! What the? She's being attacked!
When trouble arises, as it does so often, Peter Parker is no longer just an ordinary newspaper photographer, but something else entirely. Something with the strength, endurance, and power of...
Looks like it's time to call on your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
So the first time I ever actually played this game was... my parents were kind of upset about the fact that I only had one game for the Sega CD, and of course that being Sonic CD, and I had nothing else. I think my dad picked this up for like a budget price at like Walmart or something like that way back in the day. And these citizens are attacking Spider-Man. We're just going to witness this crime in progress here and analyze it. And basically I'm just filling time because, hey, guess what? Here comes another cutscene.
Officer, that nice young man in the long underwear saved my purse and all my money.
Good work, Spider-Man. It's a good thing you came along when you did. You're the best friend this city ever had. I'm just glad you're on our side.
I was just doing my job, officer. Happy to be of help.
Young man, I don't know what I would have done without you, but you really shouldn't run around in public dressed like that.
Yes, ma'am. I'll keep it in mind.
Goodbye, Spider-Man.
That young man is a real hero.
He certainly is, ma'am. I don't know what this city would do without him.
Let's see what's on TV.
We interrupt our regularly scheduled broadcast to present this special emergency report from Wilson Fisk, a concerned citizen and one of our city's leading businessmen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Fisk.
Kingpin?
What do you suppose he's up to now?
Whatever it is, it's bound to be bad news for New York. And for Spider-Man.
Fellow citizens of New York, it is my painful duty to make you aware that a monstrous crime has been perpetrated against us by a man we thought was our ally. It has come to my attention that Spider-Man has turned renegade against the forces of law and order.
Hey, that was back when Jonah had everyone convinced I was a crook. And I didn't hurt those cops.
He is perpetrating one monstrous crime after another, all across our city.
But I never did that.
Oh, my poor doggy.
And now he has devised the most ghastly crime of his career. He has planted a bomb that will explode in exactly 24 hours, destroying the entire city.
I certainly never did that.
I am offering a reward of $500,000 for Spider-Man's capture, in hopes that he can be forced to reveal the location of the bomb before it is too late. We must protect ourselves from the super criminal Spider-Man.
Peter, what are you going to do?
Watch TV.
If there's really a bomb, it'll be Kingpin's doing. I'll have to find it and disarm it in the next 24 hours.
But the police are going to think you're the criminal.
Don't worry about that, Mary Jane. The police know I'm on their side.
I want an all-points bulletin issued for the arrest of Spider-Man.
Consider it done, sir. Who'd have thought Spider-Man would turn on us? Now we're going to have to turn this city upside down to find him before that bomb goes off. Let's get on it!
Alright. Those cops are way too happy for the fact that they want to capture Spider-Man. So yeah, this is a drastic departure from the original Genesis game in that you have this open world, and on top of that, if you hit the C button, you have these, you have comic books that are scattered throughout some of the levels. In fact, there's actually a contest in the manual where you had to get you had to play the game on Nightmare mode, which is the hardest difficulty, and then you had to, like, I guess, take a picture of when, you know, when you have all the comic book covers, and then record your final score, and then send it to a firm in California. Oh, didn't mean to hit that. But yeah, you'll see what you'll need to do to disarm the bomb. We are actually on a time limit now, but the time doesn't go down until we actually start a level. But even though we have all these different levels we can go to, you only really need to, like, hit these, because that's where the bosses are. And I'm probably just going to do that since, you know, this game can get pretty long and I don't know where all the comic book covers are. Ah! When I was a kid, I kinda didn't care for this. Also, rats are teaming up with crooks to fight Spider-Man. Who knew? Die. Alright. I'm sorry. Go to sleep. But yeah, you have the powers of what you would expect out of Spider-Man, which includes, like, wall crawling and, of course, web swinging. Ah. See, these dogs make a lot more sense than, the rats, although they grunt like the other enemies do, and you can web them. You can't really, like, knock them out. You have to web them to stop them. Although, also, it's funny, since this, even though I think this is like an American game, It's very Shinobi-esque with these different power-ups you can use. Like this one is your shield, and this one lets you use a web projectile. And of course, after you use it, you reset back to your regular web powers. Whoa! Wow, that rat came out of nowhere. Ah, here's one of the comic book covers I was talking about. You can't really zoom in any further than this, but it's kind of neat, and you can kind of make out which covers are which, despite the low resolution of a Mega Drive or Sega Genesis Mega CD, whatever you prefer. Haha. Yeah, but the more I play this game, the more I actually kind of respect it for what it is, especially for its place in time. Because in the original Genesis version, there were actually a few other things that the Genesis version doesn't have, such as the ability to take pictures of, like, certain elements of the levels, or even the bosses. Of course, the other problem being that the levels themselves are very linear. And it's not like in the Genesis, the Sega CD version where you can go to any level you want. And the levels that the bosses are in are randomly generated. Albeit, it's only going to be like one of the 4 that is surrounded by the little ring that you see on the world map. Ah. See, they're double teaming. This is crap. And if you read the manual, there's actually some other moves you can make use of, like this flip kick. And one that's a little easier to pull off is the web kick. Whoop. Whoa. Although it's not easy to pull off, but it's cool when you do. Crud. Right, so this level has Doc Ock in it, and we're about to find out where he is. Doesn't have the most complicated combat system ever, but certain moves are easier to pull off than others. And this level has some really weird problems, like this box is solid, but some of these boxes are not. These are, somehow. But oh, that one is. I don't know, whatever it feels like it is. Also, this conveyor belt doesn't work, as far as I know. Yeah, I think these are the same instruments you would hear in the American Sonic CD soundtrack, since, again, the soundtrack is composed by Spencer Nielsen, since Sega had a little office dedicated for Spencer to make his music in. And he actually made it for a few other Sega CD games, like, I think there's, like, well, I know he also composed for Batman or Robin on Sega CD. Also, here's our first boss, and he's annoying to fight, so we're just gonna do this. Also, I get to do this. Ah! And it does take a good chunk out of the boss's health, so we're just gonna cheat. Oh, I'm gonna make fart noises with my hand now. Also, there's health and web up here, so we're just gonna do that. See? This one's not solid. Ugh, that's why level design. Yeah, whatever. There we go. Alright, cutscene time.
You've been disarmed, Doc. Why don't you come clean and tell me what the Kingpin is up to this time? Is there really a bomb planted somewhere?
Yes.
you arachnoid moron, for all the good it'll do you. Kingpin's fixed it so you'll never be able to disarm it either. It takes 5 keys to stop the bomb's internal clock, and they have to be inserted in the proper order, or the whole thing goes boom.
I don't get it. Why would the Kingpin want to blow up his own city?
This isn't about one measly city bug breath. It's about world domination and getting rid of you once and for all. We'll be safe when it happens, never you fear.
Tell me where to find the keys or I'll cut you up for calamari.
I don't know where all of them are, but you might try looking in Central Park for one of them. And if you want another, you'll have to go to the sewer and take it away from the lizard.
You're using Kurt Connor's affliction as a tool to defeat me? Hasn't that poor man suffered enough?
I find Connor's to be very useful, and I don't think you'll be quite as pathetic after he beats you to a bloody pulp.
Why don't you, stick tight for a while, Doc? The police will be by after I call them and tell them where to find you. Meanwhile, I've got some keys to find.
Right, so that's how Spider-Man's going to be able to solve the problem Arbogast. Yes, despite the fact that this is a Sega CD game, you're still dedicated to passwords for this particular title. Not the best thing in the world, but hey. Also, since I feel masochistic, I'm going to go to the worst level in the game, which is this stupid pinball table. Excuse me. And you're going to find out why exactly I hate it. So, you have direct control over Spider-Man. You can move him left or right, and of course the flippers are on A and C, and for some reason, the left bumper is on up on the D-pad. And then this happens, where the physics just kind of die, and then you lose. Cutscene.
We got something special for you, Sarge.
Spider-Man, huh? This ought to make the chief happy. Put him in a holding cell until I can call the feds and find out what they want to do with him. What a night! All this talk about nuking the city's got this town crazier than usual. And that's saying a lot.
Yeah, sure, Sarge.
And tell the guy guarding the cell to keep his eyes open. These super guys are some slippery customers.
Whatever you say.
So this is something that happens to me every so often, especially on that stupid pinball table. It has a Majora's Mask element to it, to where if time does run out, then the game is over. But you can always continue it, and you lose 2 hours, so we're going to go ahead and do that.
Gotcha!
Right, so Spider-Man is broken out of jail. There's actually a few variations on the game over sequence, which is actually really cool, where Spider-Man winds up in the hospital, or like he'll get transported to the police station through different means, including that stupid friggin' pinball table. Thankfully, you don't actually have to play the pinball minigame, which is good, because it's really, really bad. So, let's see. Thorizo, I believe that's how you pronounce it. I apologize if I got it wrong. I'm getting stuck here. I'm actually playing this on an emulator, even though this is using a real copy of the game. I actually used to, even though this is not like the copy I used to have back in the day, because I lost it, I actually got this game back for a nice sum of money at a specialty game store shop. I mean, it's still pretty cool if you want to check it out for yourself, but it is pretty hard in certain cases. Alright, so I think we're going to fight Electro in this stage. it is the Arkham City of Spider-Man games, if that... well, that probably still doesn't make sense. But like I was saying earlier, this is pretty similar to what you would expect out of Majora's Mask, where you have 24 hours before the city explodes, and if time runs out, then the game is, like, literally over. And you have to start over from the beginning. Unless you use a password. Also, Electro's here. But he has this annoying habit of going off-screen. That never gets old. Yeah! Great thunk sound, too. Ugh. Fine. It's just easier to hit him this way. Also, it's time for a cutscene.
Well, Electro, it looks like your circuit has come up a little short. And I thought you were such a live wire.
Laugh while you can, Bug Brain. The Kingpin has you right where he wants you this time.
Well, now, what's this?
How should I know? I've never seen it before.
Right. Well, I'll just hang on to it if you don't mind. I'm sure it'll come in handy. You just relax, Sparky, and don't blow a fuse. There'll be someone along to cut you loose any time now.
Why don't you relax, Spider-Man? Take some time off. Get away from it all. I know the perfect place. Coney Island.
Sounds like a plan. Can I bring you back a hot dog?
I'd say yes, but you won't be coming back.
Is that any way to talk to your old pal? You know me. I always show up when you least expect me.
God, yeah, the voice acting in this game is particularly strange. Half-Life. Half-Life 2. They're one number off. It's almost like they're predicting the future. But no. But yeah, like, oh... this game, like, the voice... like, when I got this game back in the day, I was half expecting it to be like the 90s Fox Kids Spider-Man cartoon. But it isn't, unfortunately. Instead, but it still has some notable cartoon voices in it that I can kind of pick out, even though this game doesn't actually credit them. Like, I think I hear Charlie Adler in there, who's like Buster Bunny, or if you want to associate with Sonic, he's Snively. And I think he was doing Doc Ock earlier. Otherwise, I can pick out, like, Nick Jameson, I think his name is. And he does a lot of, like, fairly recent, like, he's been in cartoons for a long time. Like, I know he's been in, like, The Critic. He's been, let's see. More recently, like, Futurama and stuff like that. And probably in SpongeBob, too, I wouldn't be surprised. Also, it's weird, these subway levels, like, there's like 4 or 5 of them, and they're not that different from each other. Also, these people don't really seem to care that there's thugs on the train shooting guns. Lady, I just got shivved. Did you not care about that? Let's see, there's another move I can pull off here, but I'm not very good at it. Ah. Let's see. You have to hold up and then roll it. There we go. He does a Hadouken and webs the person in place. Uh-oh. Realism. Oh yeah, and of course Spider-Man here sounds weird. That kiddo is also pointing out in the chat. I think it's kind of funny that Spider-Man has to put on a voice to disguise the fact that he is Peter Parker. Also, there's this spider here, but I don't know how to get to it, if you can in the first place, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Also, one nice bit of detail, if you try to web swing in here, it's kind of pointless. because you're on a moving train, and, you know, you're not really going to get that much of a direction out of it if you're trying to web swing to the front of the car. Also, cop and feels. Also, look at this guy in the background. Joe for Gov. Post no bills. Ow. I don't have any webs, so I'm just going to have to kind of cheese this fight. Please enjoy the music while I get us to the next part.
Guess I must have winged it. Now to get to Coney Island. Oh, what is this stuff? I'm getting sort of dizzy. What a ride. Are we at Coney Island yet? And how did I get here?
Welcome
Oh,
to
God
Mr.
damn it.
World, Spider-Man. I've created my own carnival of illusions deep beneath Coney Island. And I wanted you to be my first customer.
What is this place? Thanks, Bubblehead. But if it's all the same to you, I'll just take the key and go.
Go? Where? You're only 2 inches tall, Spider-Man. No. If you're going to be squashed like the bug you are, I'll be the one doing the squashing. Let the fun begin.
So yeah, we're back at the friggin' pinball table. But again, it doesn't matter if we win or lose this. But it would be nice, because then I wouldn't have to... Oh, see? And then that happens. So I don't have to worry about losing time. And then that happens. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to light up the icons that are on the sides. And it's just sort of the same cutscene here. Yeah, you light up the icons, which are like Spider-Man characters, and then you hit the pipe, and then that ends the level.
Spider-Man again? I guess he can't get enough of this place, huh? Put him away, boys. Some guys just never learn.
Here we go again.
And tell O'Malley to stay awake this time.
Yeah, sure, Sarge.
So yeah, we hit another game over sequence, but thankfully it doesn't matter too much. Because we should still have enough time to finish the game. Not again. After a while, those cutscenes kind of run out, and it just kind of throws you back in the main map, no matter what. And, so yeah, we finished, the level of Vulturo, even though, unfortunately, it is necessary to actually do that, because then it unlocks the other boss levels. So let's see, we've got Lizard and Sandman. I kind of want to do Sandman, actually. Oh, and Mysterio's down here, too. Yeah, it's a good idea to try and finish these bosses, because, again, that's where the keys are at. And then once you get all 5 keys, then you can go straight to where the bomb is. Up, and... oh, boy. That's so weird. That enemy is... well, it's a cop. Also, I'm not taking damage. That cop is in the tree in the background. And I can punch him. Ah! Oh, I need that. I need that. Okay. Whoo! Alright. And I got a comic book, too. Nothing can stop me now. See, you can basically, like... one of the problems with this game is you can basically Super Mario World your way through, like, every level by just web-swinging your way through. And then this fire hydrant here is important, but we're not going to find out why until very shortly. Ah. And yeah, you can basically body check these these characters, and you don't take damage. It's kind of funny. And it's weird, you can punch and kick the cops and, like, knock them out, but, you know, Spider-Man, friend of many, friend to everybody. I'm only doing this for your own good. As long as... Oh, and now they're teaming up with giant gorillas. And yes, you can knock out the gorillas. Heh. And now we're fighting... Oh god, Sandman. But yeah, you can kind of tell he's not really taking damage, so we're going to try something else here. And that is leave the level. Well, not really. Ah! And there you go. Pretty neat, huh?
Looks like one more bad guy down the drain. What have we got here? A key! Mighty considerate of you to leave this for me, Sandman. It looks like I'm one step closer to spoiling the Kingpin's plan.
Necessary dialogue. Also password. Marble top. But yeah, that's kind of the Spider-Man game in a nutshell. It's basically just keep doing these boss levels over and over. They don't really vary that much, except for the that pinball level. And then you get to the last level, which actually has multiple endings. Let's check out Mysterio's level, because there's one thing that kind of comes up, because obviously I'm playing this in an emulator, but it's probably not going to come out very well in the stream, but obviously one of the ways that developers would combat the fact that a lot of these older machines didn't have good transparency effects was taking advantage of the fact that you're usually playing these on a CRT television, and that kind of thing is lost upon many people, especially if, you know, if you play like Sonic 2, and then you get to like a waterfall, and then you're like, well, why does it look so horrendously dithered? Especially if you play like the recent Retro Engine ports, like there's not really any way for them to replicate that effect without probably using up like a lot of processing power. In fact, if I do this with Kega, well, again, probably won't turn out that well, but this is the TV mode setting that I used in the Wolfenstein game. And since CRTs are really blurry, it takes advantage of this and gives you a really nice looking transparency effect. Also, there's secret walls in this level. I'm gonna go ahead and switch this back now because I don't like how it makes it dark. I like my game bright and poppy. Oh god. Also, Comedy Anvil. There's some neat gimmicks that come into these levels, but they're not that many, especially if you get to like the city levels where there's not really much in the way of like traversal. And like the best way to navigate some of those levels is essentially breaking the game. Meanwhile, I'm rocking out in this this maze level, trying to figure out where the heck to go, because I can't remember right now. Oops. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Oh god. Let's see. So yeah, I do have other Sega CD games with me, but so far this game's going pretty good. If I do finish it, I may briefly pop in one of my other ones. In fact, in case you're wondering, yes, I do have Night Trap, but I have the Sega CD 32X version, which looks nicer, but since that was after they had republished Night Trap to store shelves, ow, the Sega 32X version actually takes out the parts where the commander is holding like a Genesis controller, and it's no longer called the Sega Control Attack Team or whatever. Oh, and I just circled back to the beginning, didn't I? Ugh. This doesn't look good for the spider. Because I don't remember where to go. If this was one of the other levels, get out, I'd have a better chance. Although usually I'm not too bad at mazes. And of course I do have, let's see, I have Sonic CD, I have a bunch of other weird FMV games like Slam City with Scottie Pippen. And I never owned a lot of this stuff back in the day, I just had Sonic. Oh god. Let's see, we'll try this, this looks, promising. Never mind, it's not promising anymore. Oh. Oh, new cutscene.
This man has been hurt, officer. I don't care what you say he's done. I can't let you disturb him until his condition stabilizes.
Okay, Doc, but sooner or later that mask has got to come off.
Let's just continue.
I've got to get out of here, fast. Lucky I've also got the healing ability of a spider. Not a mark on me. Nighty-night, officer.
I was clogged into Spider-Man storming out of the hospital there. But yeah, the password system. Oh yeah. Actually, before I get to the password system, remember when I said that you're basically in New York, as Spider-Man often is. You get some weird notable landmarks listed here. Hunter College, Park Avenue, Central Park Zoo. Oh, where's that one? There's also the Chrysler building in here somewhere. I don't know why Chrysler is here, but I think it's kind of funny. There's Chinatown. Although, unfortunately, I don't think it's going to look at anything like Chinatown ever would. Oh, Channel 42. Right, back to Mysterio. We're going to try this level one more time. But yeah, the password system, I'm still not sure how it works entirely, especially since if you go to somewhere like, if you go to GameFAQs, it doesn't really show you anything of like any FAQs or like any real concrete passwords. It's just basically like somebody is like generally playing through the game. Although you do experience the bosses in a set pattern, so that might be part of like what they're tracking. Of course, it could also be possible, and I don't remember this off the top of my head, but it may not save the comic books that you've collected. Ow. Ugh. Yeah, there's no run button. You have to crawl to be able to move faster. Oh. What the? Spidey's trying to do something here. I just don't know what. What? What is he... I can't get down there, whatever it is. Or can I? I'm so confused. But I doubt it's going to take me to the exit. Unless there is something in there. In fact... these platforms will send you up and then go straight back down. But again... it doesn't do anything. I figured that like lift a tile or something like that, but I've never seen that in these levels since I tried testing out this game before streaming it. And I think these songs are generated randomly. So that's why you'll continuously hear swing time every now and then. And here's the exit. Alright. And I think these boss levels are actually like set. Like these are not randomly generated. You'll go to a red marker on the map, and that lets you play a level. Also, there's no reason to go back this way because you drop down here, and you experience like this one gimmick, and you never really see it again, and it's not fun. Especially since that feels like it kind of randomly shoots fire. Anvil. That was good, except for the part where I'm full on web, but oh well. Also, curiously enough, the box for this game actually has pre-release screenshots of this game, where the HUD is red. Not sure why they did that, but oh well. Let's see. Ah. Let's see. Yeah, you can basically run through there, and then this spike ball goes in the wall. Whoa. Apparently the game doesn't like it if I try to web through this wall. Like it's literally freezing and then unfreezing. But yeah, you gotta find Mysterio down here somewhere. Ah! Yeah, like, that's probably my biggest problem with this game, is that everything hurts you. Even the rats in the warehouse levels are just annoying to deal with. And I never really beat Mysterio before, so let's see how this goes. Ah! And then this thing follows you around, and it's annoying. Yay! And the stupid effect is off.
It's no mystery that you're finished, Mysterio. Why don't you admit defeat and hand over the key?
The key? You could have had the key long ago, Spider-Man. If you were half as smart as you think you are.
What are you talking about, Bubble Brain? I didn't see any key.
My point exactly. The key was there, but you didn't see it. If you want it, you're going to have to go back in there for it.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do while I'm gone, Bubbles. And give my regards to the police.
Not the pinball, 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 not the pinball. Okay, thank God. Right, so there's a key here somewhere, and that ends the level, and then we can get our password and then move on. Failing that, I don't know what happens, actually. Oh. Well, there it is. Well, that wasn't so hard, was it? I just think it's weird, because, like, I'm so used to seeing, like, you know, like, TurboGrafx CD games using, like, anime cutscenes rendered in, like, whatever sprite system it uses, as opposed to full motion video. And I like that effect. Like, that's, like, one of the things that I really miss from this era is, like, just these weird cutscenes you would see in, like, Valise or, like, Ernest Evans or something like that you would see on, like, Sega CD. And it looks so much prettier and just better quality than what you would get out of FMV, but I guess since, especially in America, we were just on that brink of, like, that kind of quality. Oh no! Sewage water and bats are teaming up against Spider-Man now. Why are they grunting like the criminals? And now there's these, what the hell is that? Mustached lizard, frog, swim, whatever. Kill it. Ow. Whatever it is, it's a dead thing. I'm Spider-Man. Ah. Oh, and if you want to climb on walls, you can't do it in the pipes, but you just hit the jump button, and you can just climb virtually anywhere. And it only works in, like, the city levels, and some of the warehouse, I think, and... Oh, I webbed the rat. I didn't know you could do that. And you have to hold down to kick, and then if you don't, you'll accidentally punch the air and miss the rats. Let's see. There's not really any other Spider-Man games that are styled like this. Also, I can't grapple onto this wall for no reason. Alright, it's my theme. And now there's this weird parallax foreground going on. Ah. I have a vague recollection of, like, how this level goes, but I think this is actually even more maze-like than, like some of the other levels. Ah! Ah! And then these bats will knock you off, and something's causing Spider-Man to not be able to grapple onto these walls correctly. It's normal, it's annoying. There! Those bats don't help. Ah! And yes, the sewage water hurts, because Spider-Man can't swim in poop water. And rats. Rats! Fine. More poo gas. Ah! I've been ambushed by rats. My favorite enemy in the game, let me tell you. Actually, I think this is like the... Like, I don't understand why any games have these enemies whatsoever, because I usually find them very lazy. And then you see them in, like, MMOs and crap like that for, like, grinding experience. But they're, like, the least interesting enemy you could have. And I think we've kind of gotten away from that stuff, especially since it was such a staple in the 90s to have just anything could hurt you. I remember playing Tomb Raider 2 not too long ago, and then, like, even the rats were teaming up against Lara Croft in that game. Like, they will literally, like, bite your ankles, and there's not really anything Lara can do if she's, like, interacting with scenery or whatever. And I think I'm gonna keep going down. Ah! See, this sounds like the Sonic Boom theme, or the ending version. Just that guitar solo. Oh. I guess it... Oh, it hurts. Stop it. Ugh. No, how did you escape my web? Alright. Ah! Whoa! There we go. Yeah, take that. Yeah, the enemies get really annoying in this part of the game, and then I think, like, in the last few levels, you're just gonna be fighting bosses. Oh, hey, guess what? We went backwards. Well, let's see if I can find some health. Nope. This is just straight up backwards. Let's see. If I... Oh, no, get out of the water. Yeah, that can happen, and that's annoying. I think that web might have respawned? I don't remember. Like, there's some parts of this game I just can't remember, because it has been a long time since I've actually beaten it. And I think that was back when I was a kid and I beat it on easy. Ah! There we go. Ah, come on, Spidey. See, Spider-Man is having a hard time sticking, but you can still fly up in the air. Literally. And this is one of the games where I kind of noticed, like, the Sega Genesis sound engine in some of these games is really weird. Especially when the sound just kind of goes haywire. I want to say I want to go up there. But rats are here. That was a good... Yep, that was the right place to go, but I don't want to be here right now. See? And yes, Spencer Nielsen did compose the soundtrack, kiddo. No, don't go to the cops.
There's gotta be an easier way to do this.
Don't go to the goddamn cops! Idiot. But yeah, I ran out of cutscenes, so it's just gonna dump us straight back to the game. But yeah, obviously we can't go back to the New York City police headquarters. But these game over areas are marked on the map, and you can highlight them to see where they're at. Alright, now I know where Lizard is, so I'm just going to go straight to him now. He's up the top. And then, after that, it should just be one more key, and then we can go to straight to the last level with plenty of time to spare. And I think if we're not careful, it will cause... Like, if, so the ending sequence, you have to insert keys in the proper order. And if you don't, I think it actually makes the timer speed up. So it's not instant game over, but it still kind of sucks if you've been working your way through the entire game, and then you just kind of flub it there. And if we do, I think I can just throw up a password, and then we'll just get to it. And bats! Bats! Alright. No. Okay. Alright. So here's another I think an interesting point. I think the Sega CD version was co-produced by Foley High Tech, and I've actually been doing some Sega Channel research, and it turns out Foley High Tech, which is the company founded by David R. Foley, who worked on this game, actually, you know what, I think this is before he formed Foley High Tech, but basically, he was responsible for the UI design for the Sega Channel, but as far as I could read up, he didn't, like, work on, like, the core part of it, which was, like, how you, like, transfer games over and whatnot. But still, it is an interesting thing to make note of. Oops. Come on. There we go, Spidey. Oh, yeah. Can I do this? Oh, God, yeah. So, apparently, if you web through walls, it freezes the game up like that, and it makes it hate you, basically. And this is an emulator, so I assume this is actually the same thing on real hardware. Noises! Oh, and the game is slowing down because of these bats! There we go. Alright. So, because I'm paranoid, I'm gonna just use these. Oh, there was health here all along! There's got to be an easier way. Well, if you just took a few... In fact, I don't need that. Yeah. Cutscene.
I'm sorry, Kurt. I know you can't help the awful chemical reaction that keeps turning you into the lizard. And you can't help what you do when you transform. But I had to stop you. Kurt, are you okay?
Oh, where am I? What am I doing here? Spider-Man! What's going on?
It's a long story, Kurt. You might say I ran into you while I was looking for something down here. A key.
Could this be the key?
It could be.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I never saw it before. Well, here, you take it.
Thanks, Kurt. This will help me clobber the Kingpin.
What's happening to me?
Oh no! He's the lizard again! Sorry, Kurt. It looks like I'm going to have to take you out again. If I can.
Unfortunately, it's not going to be that much different from the last time I fought him. Except I have less web. Oh well. As you might expect, if you try to web the bosses, they don't really go down very quickly that way. Haha. And then that's it. It just boots you back to the password screen, and then we're good. Public 45. Just then.
It's making another broadcast, and I thought this might be the best way to see it and stay out of sight.
Time is running out for New York. Spider-Man, that enemy of all that is lawful and good in our city, has still not been apprehended. I am increasing the reward for his capture to $1 million in hopes that he will be apprehended before it is too late. Anyone having any information concerning his whereabouts should contact me at the Fisk Building in Midtown Manhattan. Spider-Man must be brought to justice.
Gee, that guy's convincing. If I didn't know better, I'd be out looking for me. I better find that bomb before somebody takes advantage of Kingpin's offer to become an instant millionaire.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special bulletin. Mary Jane Watson Parker, well-known star of the popular daytime drama Secret Hospital, has been kidnapped by Spider-Man. The fugitive supervillain has sent a note to Wilson Fisk at the Fisk Building in Midtown Manhattan, threatening to kill Miss Parker unless all attempts to capture him are called off immediately. We'll be bringing you more on this situation as it develops.
Mary Jane kidnapped? This has to be more of Kingpin's doing. Well, he's gone too far this time. I won't rest until she's safe, and until I see Kingpin behind bars.
Glad that Spider-Man is giving himself objectives to kind of motivate himself there. Or, you know, you can just not care. Because I don't know, it's hard for me to actually care about superhero video games when you kind of don't need to worry too much about the story. Although, I guess in recent times, especially with the games like the Batman Arkham series, kind of makes you care a little more about the characters, because, you know, they design the characters and the, like, the environment and the atmosphere, you know, centered around, like, how, you know, the universes of the game works. So it's more consistent with, like, each sequel. So it makes it more interesting to kind of pay attention to that kind of stuff. But here, it's just like, oh no, I better stop Kingpin, that jerk, and kill this cop. Cop killer. Cop flip kicker. Fart noises. Ugh. Whoa! Oh yeah, look, it's a skateboarder. Bap! Like, yeah, there's, obviously you have, like, you can kind of combat the cops, but then you have, like, punk kids that are in the streets, and you can just kind of fight them too. Also, these holes here are showing the background on the street. I don't know why that is. Also, I don't think this cop's aim is very good. Oh, right, the exit's down here somewhere. Let's see if we can find, oh, a comic book somewhere around here. I don't remember if there is. Oh, there is. It's Venom. Could that be foreshadowing? Oh, excuse me. Oh, hang on. Ah! Stop! 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 I told you to stop. There we go. Oh, God. Yeah, like I said, I haven't really played this game that much, but, again, it's neat for what it is. Oh, and the exit's not on the street this time. It must be up here. Yep. Also, one thing to keep I should probably point out. You know how I mentioned how you can look at the details of the contest? What the hell? Talk to the Spider Fist. I forgot about this guy. Oh, it's JJ! I think it's supposed to be J. Jonah Jameson. And he's arguing about Spider-Man being here, and yep, it's the Daily Bugle. It's JJ. And these people are trying to wipe Spider-Man off their walls. Duck. Ooh, I need some web. So anyway, if you want to check out the details for that contest yourself, Scarson actually scanned the manual for the US version of Amazing Spider-Man vs. Kingpin. I don't even know if you can hear me. Ah! Oh god. Yeah, I don't like fighting Hobgoblin. Ah! No! Alright. Let's see if we can find some health around here somewhere. Without getting hit. It doesn't look like it. Ah! Yeah. We're gonna try this a few more times. That's one of the things that I kind of like about like places like Sega Retro, where you have easy access to like these old manuals, especially if like, say if you're like picking up Sega Genesis games and you just get like the cartridges loose, and you don't really, like if you're like me, like, game cartridges are just getting to the point where they're actually becoming expensive again. Like, you can't really get Super Mario Brothers for 99 cents anymore. And while you probably don't need, like, a manual to know how to play Mario, it's actually, you know, kind of nice to be able to have, like, you know, instruction manuals that are easily accessible. And, like, I can, like, load them onto my tablet and, like, just load up, you know, whatever game I'm playing. I can just find it on my tablet and just look at the manual that way. There's some parts of the feature that I like, and then the other parts I just don't like. Like how Snatcher is still like $200, $300, $400 for a used copy with a Sega CD. Excuse me, please. Wait, 2 of them? I must stop you. Ah. Yeah! You show them, Spider-Man. Ah! I'm sorry, officer. Oh no! I can't stop these dogs. Yeah, I kind of want to stock up on some health and web before I actually go to the next level, but I doubt there's going to be anything here. And I don't remember if the comic book that I picked up earlier actually stuck with me. Oh yeah, I took all the health when I had full health. Yeah. I just can't remember, like, how some of these boss fights go. Some of them can get really easy. Yeah, I better hold on to that. Alright, I'll hold on to that there. But like I said, I wasn't sure if this stuff respawned or not, because some of it looked like it did. Ah! There we go. There we go.
When will you supervillains ever learn? You could have saved yourself a lot of bruises by just handing it over, Hobgoblin.
Is this what you came for, Spider-Man?
Oh.
You're wasting precious time, fool. If you want the key, you can fight him for it.
Well, nobody ever said being a hero would be easy.
Right, so now we gotta find a kidney. No, we gotta find Venom, because he took that key. And I believe that's the last one, too. So, yeah, it really milks the fact that you're trying to fight, like... Again, it's like Arkham City. You're fighting, like, this cavalcade of supervillains, and they just happen to all just decide to work together, indirectly anyway, to stop Spider-Man. Despite the fact that, you know, if you do get a game over... Comic book. If you do get a game over, you actually lose, and everybody dies. Including the supervillains, so what's the point? Even Kingpin dies. I don't get it. Wait, there's 2 exits. I don't know why that is, unfortunately. Oh no. So yeah, here's the annoying, really annoying aspect. You can't hurt Venom. Oh. Well, you can, but then you'll notice very quickly he's not going down anymore. And I think he'll eventually start healing. Yep. So what you do is you actually have to ignore Venom. It is a symbiote costume after all. Although ironically, symbiotes are interesting when it has to deal with Venom, and then it's painfully annoying with everyone else. So again, it's another gimmick boss, and you're going to find out what that is in just a moment. Ah! So here's the weird thing about the control scheme. You can't hold up to climb up, otherwise you're just going to fall back down. So you have to go up and then towards the ledge you want to get onto, and then Spider-Man climbs on top. And check this out. You can fall down here like that, or... Stop tickling me, Venom. You can actually stand on this. Let's get Venom up here. So we still can't really hurt him, but... you do that.
What are you doing to me? Just trying to ring your chimes, tall, dark, and toxic. Leave it to me to poison your chances, eh, Venom?
What was that noise?
I don't think you'll be needing this anymore. Don't count me out yet, Spider-Man! I don't need spider stench to tell me I haven't seen the last of him.
Ha ha, ho ho, ha ha ha. Pencil 6. Alright, so we got all 5 keys. Now we can actually go and get to the bomb and disarm it. And hopefully not blow it up. Also, remember, if you hit the C button, you can check out the comic books that you have. And the Venom comic that I picked up earlier actually did stick, even though I lost on that one. You just kind of gotta scan around. Oh, there we go. Yep, there's Kingpin, and that's the last stage. So let's get to it. It's kind of funny that even today, there's still not like a complete listing of like where all the comic book covers are at. Ooh. And I really don't remember this part of the game, so this could go very poorly. Luckily, I have 10 hours to go. And just like like how I said in Majora's Mask, how it's pretty similar to this game. Well, of course, you'll kind of notice it's not like 24 hours in real time. Like minutes kind of go down in like microseconds. Oh my god. Oh no, I got hit by the butt of the gun. Ah! Oh god. Wow. There we go. So yeah, if you want to get extra height, you have to hold up on the D-pad, and then Spider-Man jumps higher. Annoying, but not impossible to deal with, but, you know. Comic book, web, and health. Whoa! Oh, I think this game does that thing where it kind of upgrades the enemies to where they can actually break free out of these web holds a lot better. Unless you Hadouken them like that. Or it could be wrong. They could be exactly the same. Let's see. I'm gonna try to cheese this a little bit. There we go. There's a trick in the webbing where if you try to web swing and then immediately jump, you'll gain extra height, which is very easy to make it through some of these areas. Why do the bats grunt? I still don't get that. Alright. let's leave that there. Oh, this is a secret area. Every now and then you're gonna get it, in certain levels, you find these areas where you get these small pickups. It kind of skips the level that you're on previously. And then gives you, like, all these power-ups you can collect to boost Spider-Man back to full health and web. Yeah, we're getting closer to the bomb. And, let's see. And this is what you're supposed to do. You have to highlight a key that you want to use, and that's how you select them. And it takes over your webbing, so you have to be mindful of that. Of course, it's not like Spider-Man's going to throw away the key or anything like that. That'd be silly. Although that'd be pretty funny. Be like, I threw away the key. I better go back and find it, wherever it is. And then you gotta, like, go back, like, 5 levels. I better make sure nobody knows who I am. And hey, guess what? It's a boss gauntlet. Oh, God. Not fair. Ah, come on. As you can tell, this is very fun. Oh, no. Hey, guess what? We are so going to throw a save state down, because I think something bad happens if you actually lose here. If not, we're just going to keep going. That's right. Okay. So, what I was afraid was going to happen, if you get to a certain level, which is basically like, well, if you get to the last level, basically, and then you lose, you actually get one of 3 bad endings. So, I'll throw a save state down later, and we're going to see if we can look at all 3, because I've only seen one of them. And ironically, it's actually kind of hard to get, like, the best ending. And by hard, probably not that hard. But you'll see what I mean. As much as I like to Hadouken you full of web, I actually need to hold on to this now. Although it doesn't matter, because I'm going to go back to this area. Remember what I said when the music was randomly generated? And by that, I mean it just picks a random track on the CD. Although Swing Time is the main theme, and that always plays on the title screen. Alright. Oh no, we've only got about 8 hours left before the bomb explodes. And if you were going to be looking for all the comic book covers, it would probably be pretty annoying. Especially since they kind of just appear out of nowhere. I can see why they decided to go with a contest to try and make it as hard as possible, but you can't really do that in games anymore. I don't know why I keep going back to it, but I just think it's kind of fascinating for what they were doing back in the early 90s where there was no internet. Where the internet ruined everything with its pessimism and narcissism. And wikis. I think that takes care of Volturo. Ah! What? No fair, you're off screen. Ah, good. Alright. So now that's taken care of, we can move on to this area, and then I think it's going to bring us to the last main area of this level. Oh, I'm gonna leave that there, actually. But it was a bad idea. But, we gotta fight Electro. and Hobgoblin, and Venom at the same time. Nonsense. So what we're gonna do, as you can tell, this is the bomb. So we gotta insert the keys. Wait for it. Now it's asking for this one. Okay. Ooh. Oh, let's get out of here. There we go. Alright, that is the bomb defused, and all the supervillains are leaving for some reason. Like they just gave up. But now, we have to fight these guys. Oh, and I don't like this one bit. Ah! Well, that was bad. So this is what I was talking about.
Looks like you've crawled your last wall, Spider-Man. It was bound to come to this someday. What a lovely couple you make. A shame I didn't bring my camera, but I'll always remember you just like this. Goodbye, Spider-Man. I'm going to miss outsmarting you.
So that sucks. Let's not have that happen again. Oops. Right, so we have to fight... There's actually two of these bosses we have to fight. Ah! Because this is the last area of the game. Ah! And this guy is annoying to fight. There we go, that's one down. Sorry, it's near the end of the game, and I really want to get this out of the way. Wait, I'm still alive! No, stop, game! Let's go with Simpsons arcade game rules. Roll threes, back off. Ooh. Can I get some health, please? I really don't want to fight the last boss without any additional health. Or web, or anything. Alright. Ah, Bullseye and Typhoid. Bullseye and Typhoid. Excuse me, Bullseye and Typhoid. Thank you, Linobro. And they are exclusive to the Sega CD version. But yep. So yep, we have to fight Kingpin, and he's not easy. We're just gonna do this. Eh. Yeah, we're gonna try not to do that, because for some reason Kingpin hits really hard. Ugh. So as you can tell, I'm trying to do the web kick move, and it's really hard to pull off sometimes. Because I'll try to hold up, and then he just shoots web for no reason. It's so aggravating. See? Ah! See? You're supposed to hold it up and then he just does it, but he won't do it right. And I hate the fact that I'm using save states, yes, but... like I said, it's the last bit, and there's actually an extra ending here if we, okay. Ah! Okay, that's what I should do then. You can turn around while you web swing. I forgot you could do that. Okay. Ah! There we go. Oh, I didn't mean to do that.
Mary Jane is unconscious, but she'll be okay. Once the cops dispose of Kingpin, I'll get her out of this place. There's your real criminal, officers. You'll find his bomb in the other room, disarmed with the keys I took from his henchmen.
We have a lot to thank you for, Spider-Man.
And a lot to be ashamed of. To think we believed you were the bad guy.
Mistakes happen, guys. The important thing is, we're all on the same team.
This is all very touching, but you're wasting these officers' time, Spider-Man. My lawyers will have me out by dinner time.
Justice is never a waste of time, Kingpin.
Hi, Tiger. I knew you'd show up in time.
Well, I didn't want to be late for dinner.
After all these years, Spider-Man's finally gonna be behind bars, where he belongs.
You know, maybe you shouldn't have been in such a hurry to print that headline, Jonah. We don't have all the facts yet.
Mr. Jameson, the city desk said to hold that special edition and reprint the front page. Spider-Man's innocent.
What? No! He can't be! Ugh! He's fooled them again!
So yeah, that's the end of the game, and unfortunately I messed up showing off one of the endings, and as you could probably tell during that fight sequence, if you try and fight Kingpin, and you fail to save Mary Jane in time, then you actually get an ending where you defeat Kingpin, but Mary Jane's dead. And now we get a credit sequence, and this plays if you win the game, if you get one of the other endings, or if you lose. You get this credit sequence. Again, it's a low quality version of Swing Time. Yep, there's David Foley. There he is. I think he was only had a hand in the Sega CD version. And like another weird thing about David Foley, after he apparently like quit Foley High Tech, and he went on to create Ultracade, which is that arcade cabinet that has all those different arcade ROMs built into it, which I always think is weird because I think those things have like a lot of legal issues, because I don't think the rights to those games were granted to be used on the Ultracade. But they're still around, those Ultracade machines, that is. He basically abandoned Ultracade and sold it to Global VR, so now Global VR manufactures them. And there's Spencer Nielsen with Eric Martin of Mr. Big. Pump It Up, trademark. Oh, it doesn't say trademark. Well, you get the idea. Yeah, there's so many weird, like, illegal arcade machines that are still going around. I remember I went to an arcade dealership. Yes, a dealership of arcade machines. But in their defense, you know, they're old arcade machines that are probably a little hard to come by. And that dealership was selling, like, arcade machines of Donkey Kong 2, which is a homebrew sequel to Donkey Kong made by some, like, Americans or whatever. And it's weird that, you know, they can just sell those, and apparently, I mean, I guess Nintendo doesn't really care, or they just don't know anything about it. And I want to go with the latter because they don't really care about the arcade scene anymore. Aw. And if you hear that wind turbine in the back, that's my CD drive loading the disc of this game. So that's it. That is Spider-Man vs. Kingpin. Actually, there's one thing that I should probably point out. I'm just going to very briefly show it off if we just reload back here. And then we're just going to turn the sound off because we don't really need it. We'll turn it down anyway. But if you look in this scene right here in the rocks, you can see Sonic's head in the background. And it's gone. Did you catch that? Alright, well, I think that's going to do it for Spider-Man.